Welcome, sports fans, to another edition of the Breath of Fresh Air webcast on YouTube. I am Charles Taylor, and I have Patrick Brackett with me again. Say what's up, Patrick.
What's up, everybody? We got a
All
good show
right. So,
tonight.
huh?
I said we got a good show tonight.
Yes, we
Hockey.
do. Yep, especially for the hockey fans out there, because this is our NHL playoff preview. So we're going to go through each of the first round matchups, and then we will talk about who we have playing for the Stanley Cup and who we think will win the Stanley Cup. So let's jump right into it, Patrick, and we will start with the
Hold
let's
on, hold
start with
on,
the West.
hold
Huh?
on, hold on. Before we start, we have to go back to but we got to go back to our last episode when we talked about hockey, and we got to talk about who we had winning. Going, we had the Lightning.
Yeah, I was gonna get to that, Patrick. Yeah, let me bring it out.
Fine, you run the show. I'm just here for comic relief. I know.
No, but you know what? You're right. Yes, we did. We both had the Lightning, and ugh,
Not
Steve.
looking good.
Yeah, not looking good.
Hey,
Steven,
they made it to the playoffs though. But not looking good.
yeah, yeah, man. Steven Stamkos going out. That hurts Tampa Bay a lot. So I think who did you have coming out of the West? Nashville, right?
I had Nashville versus Tampa. That was my preseason pick.
Yeah, I had Tampa Bay and Anaheim, but we also said to kind of help us out here. We didn't know what the Chicago Blackhawks are coming with because we didn't know the status of Patrick Kane. Well, Patrick Kane is back and he led the league in scoring. So, with all that said, with that quick little disclaimer, because that's what all that was, we
My dark horse. Hey, look, at least your dark horse made it to the playoffs. Mine didn't.
who's your dark horse in the East?
Boston.
Oh, yeah. There's gonna be some changes in Boston. Yeah, they
God, they're gonna do
collapsed.
a lot of furniture moving out there, dude. Chara. Pew.
They collapsed. I mean, they were leading the Atlantic Division with like a month to go.
Yeah, and then
Ugh,
fell apart. No
ugh.
defense. Nothing. Oh, anyway, let's go. Let's get.
So yes, Patrick, as he brought up, yes, we did have the Lightning coming in there, and so now you guys, if you go back and you watch the playoff, or excuse me, the regular season preview we had, you will see those picks that we had. If you're not believing it on the show, so go ahead and fact check us. We don't care because we ain't got nothing to hide. But
Hey, dude, look, and if they want to fact check us, check out everything we said and look at who's in the playoffs, so you can
yep.
suck it.
well, well, Patrick, look, man, we're going to start with the Western Conference because the champion did come out of the Western Conference last year in the Chicago Blackhawks. So let's start with the 1 versus 8 matchup, which is the Dallas Stars and the Minnesota Wilds. So the Stars, we both had this, if I remember right, we had that as our Western Conference dark horse. Well, they have the best record in the West. I think they finished with 109 points, something like that.
Yep.
And they get the Wild, who they're dangerous team, very dangerous team to play in the first round. Uh, who do you
Especially
have? Who do you have winning this series?
well, Minnesota can throw up some points, especially in the third period. Third period, man, it's always been Minnesota's like thing. But I'm gonna go with the Stars. I'm gonna go with the Stars. They're a strong team. They're playing really well. You got Tyler Sagan on there. That's just, I mean, he's running that first line like a
Ooh,
pro right now.
real quick, Patrick, he's been out for a few weeks. He is coming back. He's been skating with the team. Uh, I don't know if you saw the post I made. I think it was a few weeks ago. He had a sliced Achilles.
No, I didn't see that.
Yes, man. He had a sliced Achilles, and I made a post on it on Facebook, and it was a Fox Sports article where they had the picture of the sliced Achilles. Gross. You got to go on my page and check it out, man. I
I'll
have
check
it
it
on.
out. I'll tell you that. Hockey fans, I'll go ahead and apologize now. Last 2 weeks of the hockey season normally gets thrown to the wayside because baseball is on, and I like hockey, second favorite sport, but second don't mean first. So I've been on baseball. So sorry. Well, if he's coming back, when are they looking at coming back? Charles, when are they looking at him coming back? Dude, you better get a new computer.
Okay, we here.
Man, I'm sitting here talking to myself, dude.
I'm sorry, Patrick. Sorry, man. Technical difficulties. I'm sorry, man. Say that.
When is Sagan coming back?
Sagan should be back. They're saying in this game, the first game they play. He's day to day right now, but he is skating in practice, looking pretty good skating. So he should be in the series.
Okay, so well, still, I mean, Tyler Sagan, well, depending on how he goes, he might run second line then, huh? Or is he going to run first?
Well, I mean, it depends on how they want to use him. They might put him in there with Jamie Benn. And I mean, those are two of your top 5 scorers in the league themselves. So
yeah, it'll probably take a lot of pressure off of him anyway. So they'll probably run him in the first line. Well, he's going to be fine. They'll be fine. The only thing that I think Dallas has to worry about is period 3 and freaking Zach Parise. That's it, Mr. Hat Trick in the third period.
and
I don't know how he does it.
And he's day to day. He has a injury that he's dealing with too. But yeah, Patrick, even if he does play, which I mean, Zach Parise will be in there. I think we both expect him to be in there. But yeah, I have Dallas winning this series in 6. I'll go 6. The Lions to say you have Jamie Benn, Tyler Sagan, Patrick Sharp's been playing well. Cody Eakin, he's been playing well. The goaltending has stepped up. If there is a question mark for Dallas, it is the goaltending. It's kind of been inconsistent, and we have to see who they start between Anthony Niemi and Kari Lehtinen. If
Niemi.
Well, Niemi, the thing with him is he does have a Stanley Cup. Now, if they do start him, he's been playing better as of late. But between the two, the goaltending does have to get better. I mean, because the games are going to get a little bit tougher to score. Of course, you're going to see a lot more 2-1, 3-2 games. Dallas they want some shootouts because they have a lot of firepower. So, so the goaltending has to step up for them. But I don't think it'll be that much of a problem in this series. I have Dallas winning too.
Yeah, I mean, well, Dallas is first in goals per game. So, yeah, I mean, I got Dallas. I'll probably take Dallas in 6 as well.
All right. Well,
check mark.
Yes, check mark. So let's go to, let's see. We have, let's talk about the Sharks and the Kings. So,
okay, go ahead and get that out of the way. Sharks sucks. Kings win. 4. Okay, next.
Well, the main thing, and I can tell you guys why Patrick is saying this, is because, well, it's the Sharks. And the Sharks traditionally, they disappoint in the playoffs. And who can forget 2 years ago when they played the Kings in the series, they had a 3-0 lead. Blew it. And the Kings came back and won the series, went on to win the Stanley Cup. Yep. So I don't think it gets to 7 games. I think the Kings, they will win in 6. To me, they're just the better team. And I mean, between you got Jonathan Quick in that net mind and the goaltending, their lines, that they have that grinding attitude that it takes. I mean, they have most of those people who are there who won 2 Stanley Cups. And the Sharks, well, they're the Sharks. So yeah, just like you said, I guess for you to make it easy, yeah, Sharks suck, Kings win.
Yeah, Sharks suck, Kings win. I will give the Sharks this. I man, they do got Joe Thornton. I mean, they got him. They got what's his name? Poplaski, I think. Okay, we'll give them 1. I say 4-1. I'll give them 4-1.
So you're
4-1.
going Kings in 5 is what you
Kings in
have?
5. Kings in 5. But don't be
Yeah.
surprised if they take that as a sweep. So
I think the Sharks will get one game just for the simple fact it's that California rivalry.
yeah.
So I think the Sharks can get one in the Shark Tank. But yeah, I think the Kings win. I said Drew Doughty, Kopitar, and those dudes. Just
Toffoli.
yeah, just too much. I think it's just too much. And the Kings look like they've been playing their best hockey down the stretch lately, as it is. So I think they're starting to peak at the right time, and they will be something to mess with later on in the playoffs as well. So, in my opinion,
you're talking about Jonathan Quick, and then you also got Ian Roth. So not a bad set of goalies. So yeah, I'm going Kings in 5.
all right, I got Kings in. You know what? Yeah, I'll go 5 too. All right,
Yeah,
check.
good.
All right. Well, let's talk about this series. We'll go with the Ducks and the Predators. This one is interesting to me because Nashville, they've been kind of that team knocking on the door, can't quite kick it in just yet. I mean, they ran into the Blackhawks last year in the first round. I like this matchup with the Ducks. Now, the Ducks, they're another team who has started to peak at the end of the year. And they got on a hot streak. You know, they got Getzlaff and Perry and those dudes. But Nashville can get hot too. They were playing some pretty good hockey. This one is tough for me, Patrick. I'll let you go first to choose because I kind of think I know where you're going with this. But why don't you tell us?
Well, dude. I thought about it, and I thought about it, and I thought about it some more. I mean, I know Rubio's day to day. You still got Forsberg on there. You got Yoshi. You got Neil.
Hey, Weber.
Was that
Weber's still on there too, right? Hey,
uh
Weber
for
or Nashville?
yeah. I mean, a lot. You know, they're suffering some injuries right now, but I'm going with Nashville, man. I'm gonna go with Nashville with 7. 2 reasons. One, I can't go against my pick, man. Oh, like you said, they're knocking on the door. They're knocking on the door. I think this team can. I think this is a good matchup. I know Anaheim has Getzlaff. What's his name? What's the other guy's name? Perry. Yeah. I mean, I see Anaheim. They got 2 strong lines, and I think Nashville can match those 2 strong lines. But my personal opinion, I think Nashville has the better goalie, so I'm going with Nashville in 7.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. I picked Anaheim at the beginning of the year, so I can't go against my pick.
Yeah,
So, can't do it. Can't do it. Even though, yeah, we'll get to them in a little bit, the Blackhawks. But yes, I can't go against my pick there. I think Anaheim, this is going to be a tough series. It would not surprise me if Nashville was able to pull this bad boy out. But I'll go Anaheim. We'll go Anaheim in 6, maybe 7. But I do think Anaheim will pull it out. I think they're just kind of a little bit of a deeper team.
yeah.
And the scary thing is the goaltender for Nashville. If Rene, if he gets hot, he can carry.
He'll carry him. That's all you need is him to get hot for just 2 seconds. And that dude's on fire. So yeah, I mean, this is an interesting series. This would probably be one of the series I watch the most. There's a lot of other good. There's probably like another good series out there, and we'll get to it in a minute. But this series right here interests me the most. So, but it wouldn't surprise me to see Anaheim take this one in 6 or 7. But it also wouldn't surprise me to see Nashville take this in 6 or 7. So I'm going with Nashville in 7. Can't go against my pick, but I think the goalie, get a hot goalie, they can carry you. And I think if anybody's gonna get hot in this series, it's gonna be Rainey.
So damn, Patrick, no check mark for this one. That's
Not a
rare.
check mark for this one.
Man, we're not agreeing. What's going on? Well, all right.
Wrong, right?
Well, all right. So you have Nashville, and I have Anaheim, and like I said, I guess neither one of us will be surprised if it does go the other way. Well, let's go to the Blackhawks and the Blues series. So here's our wild card here with the Blackhawks, defending Stanley Cup champions, and they started to play a little bit better toward the end. They hit a little lull in late March, early April. But they have pretty much all their pieces in place. You know what Patrick Kane has done all year. We know Jonathan Toews is a primetime performer, along with Marian Hossa, Brett Seabrook, all those guys, Duncan Keith. With that core and the younger guys starting to come on for them, it's hard to go against them. Now, St. Louis, very good team, have some good players. They can go pretty deep, but yeah, I think this is just the raw matchup again for St. Louis in the first round. I got Chicago winning this one in 6. What do you have?
I mean, don't get me wrong. St. Louis, they got that hard right winger man in Tarasenko, dude. I mean, he brings a lot. Stasny, and you got to go your goalie Elliott. I mean, Elliott. I mean, he's a fantastic goalie. He is, but stat for stat. I mean, well, stat for stat.
That has to get hot. That would be him.
Who?
I think in this series against the Blackhawks.
Oh
Elliott
yeah. I mean, stat for stat. I think Elliott is the better goaltender, but the fact is that you got Patrick Kane and Jonathan Toews. I got the Blackhawks in 6. I got the Blackhawks in 6 because if a goalie is going to get hot, it's going to be Corey Crawford.
Hey,
he's not going to be Elliott.
Championship medal, man.
And he knows how to goalie, dude. And he'll probably get pulled a couple of times in this series, because he tends to get pulled.
He tends to do that in the first round. Like he gets pulled once or twice.
Yeah, but after he gets pulled that next game, he somehow pitches a shutout. I'd pull his ass in game 1. If I have to. But hey, Corey Crawford gets pulled, man. He tends to tighten up, and he's a fantastic goalie. I got the Blackhawks in 6.
Yep, that's what I got. Okay, well, check mark for that one. So we'll go ahead and agree that one. The thing with the Blackhawks skin, man, 3 Stanley Cups in the last 6 years. These guys, hard to outgrind those guys. They're kind of the Cardinals of hockey to me, the St. Louis Cardinals of hockey. This team, when they get into the postseason, it's hard to bet against them because they outwork you. The talent is there, obviously. We know, we mentioned the names, but the mentality just to do what it takes to win the title, it always seems to come out in times like this. And who has it better than the Blackhawks? I mean, I guess the only team that can match them are the LA Kings, since they have 2 Stanley Cups in this same 6-year span. But, but I agree with you, Blackhawks in 6. Well, let's get to the Eastern Conference. And let's talk about your favorite series to start off, Patrick, the Capitals and the Flyers.
Oh, yeah. This stupid freaking city, dude. Good God. How did they even make it?
Philly has played.
They grinded that last month.
They got hot. You know what? That last month, Philadelphia played some great hockey. And they have some players, Wayne Simmons, Claude Giroux. I mean, they Steve Mason, he's a pretty good goaltender, and they're physical. That the physical nature of how they play finally started to come to light. It finally started to round itself into form at the right time, and they got hot and they were able to push past Boston for that wildcard. Okay, Boston kind of collapsed, but yeah, that's their story.
Boston beat themselves.
Yeah, but give Philly credit for taking advantage of it and getting their way in there. So they run into this Washington Capitals team who won the President's Trophy, rolling through the season.
The President's Trophy about the time Philadelphia started rolling.
Yeah, I mean the Capitals.
More about. You know what? I'm going to start on this. Look, I know Philly's got they got Giroux. I know they got Wayne Simmons. I know they got Mason as a goalie. But you know what? It's Philadelphia, dude. I can't go with No, I can't go with. Plus, they're going against the Capitals. Capitals, they won the President's Trophy before the season even started.
Yeah, but Patrick, you know the President's Trophy is not the know-all tell-all.
I know, but you know, look, they got Ovi, dude, who is freaking slap shotting 400 miles an hour. I got the Capitals winning in 7. I do give Philadelphia a lot of credit. They have picked it up in the last month. And they're a real physical team. I think they match up against the Capitals really well with physicality. I know Claude Giroux's day-to-day unless they released him and now he's playing, but I think I got the Capitals in 7. I think this is a much more interesting season than even I played it out to be at the first. I think this is a good series. I think it's a really good series, and I'll take Washington in 7.
Like somebody was listening to somebody from earlier. Ha ha. And the thing is, Patrick, you said it perfectly. Philly is physical. So being physical, you can muddy up a series. And guys like Alex Ovechkin and TJ Oshie, you're not giving them as much room to kind of roam and use their speed and get out there on that open ice. You can put a body on them. You can slow them down a little bit and make those games instead of a 3-4 or excuse me, a 4-3, 5-4 game, those 2-1s, 3-2s. That would probably favor Philadelphia. Having said that, I have the Capitals in 6 because I think the firepower the Capitals have, and they have a great goaltender in their own mind, in their own right, in Holtby. But yeah, I have the Capitals winning in 6. But this is an interesting series because Philly does match up well with Washington.
Well, you know, I still say that. I still say the Capitals win it in 7. But this also would not surprise me if Capitals take a demanding lead and probably win this in 4 or 5. It depends on what Philly team shows up. I mean, Philly is a physical team, but they can be over physical. And what I mean by that is they like to fight a lot.
They can get into a lot of penalties and then power plays.
And if that happens, the Capitals can take advantage of that because they are a very high-powered shooting penalty team. So this could get away from Philadelphia really quickly. So I have it in 7, but I also know how over physical Philly can be. It wouldn't surprise me to see this go out in 4 or 5.
Yeah, Philly does like to fight. Rocky statue. Yeah,
Bro likes to start some. Dude, he starts some shit, and if you touch him the right way, he's like Brad Marchand, dude. You touch him the right way, he's ready to fight, and he will fight somebody before the period is over, and he will cost you 2 to 6 points and probably get thrown out of the period. So. Don't be surprised if Claude Giroux does that. But you know they are a very over physical team. But like I said, it's either going one of 2 ways. Either Capitals are going to spank them and win it in 4, or they're going to muddy it up a little bit and they'll win in 7.
All right. Well, we'll check that one off there because we both have the Capitals winning the series.
Mm-hmm.
And let's talk about our Eastern Conference pick, both of ours, Tampa Bay. So we know they lost Steven Stamkos. And what that pretty much means for Tampa Bay is if they're going to do anything, you talk about a goaltender having to get hot, Ben Bishop has to get hot now. If Tampa Bay is going to do anything at all, anything remotely close to what they did last year and get into the Stanley Cup final, then yeah, it's going to be on Ben Bishop to get that carried or to get hot and start to carry them. With that said, they draw the Detroit Red Wings in the first round, who has made the playoffs 25 straight years. I think they've made the playoffs. That's crazy. Um, the Red Wings, dangerous team. This is a dangerous matchup for Tampa Bay, even if they did have Steven Stamkos.
Yeah, I thought so too. Especially
But
with the way Datsuk's been playing this past 4 to 6 weeks, man. Stamkos would have his hands full with him anyway. So
that's good. And Sedinberg.
yeah. So I mean, I looked at this. I looked at this game up and down. You're saying Ben Bishop's going to have to get hot. You're gonna look at a lot of blue liners that's going to need to freaking get hot too. There's no way that they can stop the firepower of Detroit. I'm taking the lead on this one, Charles. I got Detroit in 6.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, I don't like to go against the pick, but man, it's a big loss, huge loss. You lose your captain, your leader, leading goal scorer. I mean,
leading goal scorer.
Or is he the leading goal scorer? He might not be. He might not.
No, he's the leading goal scorer. He's Kucherov is the leading points.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And then Hedman is leading in assist, but still, I mean, even like you said, even with Stamkos in there, I mean, the firepower is just it's going to be hard against that Detroit team. Those 3 lines that Detroit pushes, and coming into the third period, I just don't think without Stamkos, they just don't have the depth on it now. So I don't even know who they're pulling in to replace him right now either.
And remember, with Tampa Bay and Detroit, they met in the first round last year, and that series went 7.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I mean, yeah, without Stamkos.
And that was without Datsuk in a couple of those games because I think he had an injury and then he got thrown out of one, if I can recall correctly. But I mean, Datsuk, man, without Stamkos in there, Datsuk is pretty much wide open. I mean, he's going to be able to control that first line. So,
yeah, I have Detroit in 6 too, man. I mean, just that loss, man. Since Stamkos going out, is one of the best players in the world, and if you don't have one of the best players in the world, as much as we talk about the hockey talent pool being a little bit more level than other sports because you have goaltenders who can get hot and carry you, that is still a huge loss, man. And I think that's just too much for Tampa Bay to overcome. So I have Detroit winning in 6 also.
Yeah, and then you also have to think about the line Zetterberg's the line that Zetterberg's on. Is he on the first line now? I think they kept changing him from the first and second.
Yeah, they've been alternating a little bit with him and Datsu, and then a lot. Detroit also has a lot of young talent too, and it started to kind of manifest.
Is it Larkin? But he's the new guy. He's the new guy, right?
Mm.
Yeah. Detroit has just 3 stellar lines, dude. It's going to be hard to beat this team going down the stretch like this. So, yeah, Detroit in 6.
All right. Well, let's talk about the Islanders and the Panthers. This is an interesting series too. Florida is in the playoffs for the first time in I think 20 years. So, so the people down there in Miami. I mean, some of them, I'm pretty sure they probably forgot they had a hockey team there, but 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 they're back, and they have 99-year-old Yamir Yager, who is this dude is he's drinking the juice, man. He's drinking that youth juice. He's still putting up points.
He led the team in points, man.
So I mean, with him, and you have Roberto Luongo in the net, and he can get hot too. This one's a hard one to call.
Yeah, this is great. Barkov, who led the team in goals. Yeah, this one's a very hard one to call. There's the Islanders are a
solid team.
Solid team. Yeah, they're a very solid team. God, what is his name? Pozo. I guess how you say.
Hey, go ahead and pull it up, Patrick. Go ahead and pull it up. It's all good.
Yeah, let me pull it up. Hold on. I got because if I get it wrong, I'm gonna feel like an idiot. Pozo. Yeah, so I was right. How about that?
Good. Hey man, look. Hey, you gotta verify ourselves too. We don't get everything
verified. Right. But then you got John Tarvis, and then Boychuk, dude. Boychuk.
Oh yeah. Hey, yeah, you're right. You mentioned Tavares. Yeah, that dude's a beast too.
Dude is a beast. I mean, he led the team in goals. This is a very interesting one to pick. I like both of them. I like both of these teams, and I think this is going to be that other one that I was talking about. It's going to be a very interesting game. As bad as I want to go with Florida, I think I'm going to go with the Islanders.
Me too.
I'm going to go with the Islanders in 6.
Yeah, I'm going Islanders in 7. Because I just think that this is a series that could go 7. I think the teams are evenly matched, and there's not really a big advantage one way or the other. Both of the goaltenders are pretty solid, and they both have players on those first 2 lines that can get hot and score some goals. If they get on the power play, they can mess you up either way.
Mm-hmm.
It's just one of those series that can go either way. I wouldn't be surprised to see either one of these teams win. But yeah, I agree with you. I'm gonna go with the Islanders on this one. Also,
I'm going, and the physicality in this game is going to be. This is probably going to be like the third physical team, our third physical series behind, which one? The Philadelphia series, and then of course the one we haven't talked about yet is going to be like phenomenal. I can't wait. Like New York versus Pittsburgh, dude. It's gonna be a brawl, dude.
Yeah, and so before we move on to that one, we'll go ahead and check that one off because we both have the Islanders winning. And yes, the Rangers and Penguins. So we're not big Pittsburgh fans at all. But Pittsburgh, to their credit, you talk about a hot team. There was a stretch where they won 14 of their last 15 games. They have been playing very well, and they didn't even have Malkin in there. Sidney Crosby, to his credit, put the team on his back. Once Malkin went out there, Crosby got super hot. Crosby actually started looking like the Crosby we saw back in 2009 when they won the Stanley Cup. Mm-hmm. Now, can he sustain it? We'll see. Chris Letang has been playing well for him also. And as I said, Pittsburgh, they just been hot. They're starting to play their best hockey at the right time. Mm-hmm. When we look at the Rangers have been hurt. They've been injured a lot. Right, what's his name? Madonna. He was hurt. Hendrik Lundqvist, the great goaltender for the Rangers. He's been in and out of the lineup. Also, look, he should be back. To me, Patrick, in this matchup, I know we keep on reiterating about the goaltenders and how the goaltenders have to get hot. Hendrik Lundqvist has to be Hendrik, which is great, especially in this series. If he's not, they will not beat Pittsburgh in this series. I have Pittsburgh winning this series in. I'm gonna go 6, and I'm gonna say 6 because even if Lundqvist is great, I don't know if the Rangers can get enough scoring in there. I think they have to find a way to get more than 1 or 2 goals a game to beat Pittsburgh, because I think it's a lot for a Lundqvist to ask to hold that team down at this point. So I'm gonna go Pittsburgh reluctantly, but I'm gonna go Pittsburgh in 6.
I can't do it, dude. I can't do it. I cannot vote for that piece of crap Crosby, dude. Can't do it.
He is a beast. He's a beast, though, Patrick. He's a crybaby, but he's.
Here is my spiel. He is a beast, but it's playoff time. And playoff time, Sidney tends to get more whiny. Every time he gets touched, every time he gets his butthole, it puckers up, and he starts whining. He's not going to get a lot of things going his way, especially when they're in New York. He might not even get anything going his way in Pittsburgh. I think this is I think Pittsburgh is going to have trouble scoring on Lundqvist, and if they do score on Lundqvist, then they're going to bring in the other goalie, Renata, and he's had success with Pittsburgh. So I think the goalies in this game is where it's gonna really pick up. I mean, let's be honest. Not really many people's gonna score on Fleury that much anyway. So I think New York is what they're going to do is they're just going to really put a lot of shots on goal. Not really worry about trying to score as much as just trying to get him out of position, block his goal or block his views from some
bodies in front of him.
Yeah, I mean, you throw Zuccarello out there, he's a pretty big body. You throw Yandel out there, he's a pretty big body. And I think that they can do that. Just start slapping the puck at them, and they got enough people to do that. Eventually, Mark Anthony has a really leaky faucet right around the 5th hole. And I think that's where it's going to happen, right there. Pittsburgh, they play good. They're a good team. But when it's all said and done, this team does not have a blue line. And I think that's going to show in this series. New York in 6.
Yeah, the Rangers, I think, to win the series, I think they're going to have to do what we said the Flyers have to do against the Capitals. Buddy it up. You get Sidney Crosby and Chris Letang in the open ice, they're lethal. And if you put them on the power play, they're lethal. So you have to be able to get bodies in front of them and be physical with Crosby, because, like you just said, if you do put a body on Sidney Crosby, he'll get a little whiny. He'll get a little crabby. So, so let's see if the Rangers can do that. I just because it's not Lundqvist I'm worried about. I think Lundqvist is going to show up. He will do enough to keep the Rangers in the games. Definitely. They have to score more goals than just 1 or 2, though. I mean, to me, it's just a lot to ask.
They gotta have 3. They're gonna win these games 3-2, 2-1. But like I said, I mean, I feel if New York can get 20, 30, 31, 32, 33 shots on goal, 3 of those are going to leak through. Anthony can. See, to me, that's his weakness. 25, this is nothing for him to stop. 30, he tends to start getting a little. The holes tend to start opening. Get a little
bit undisciplined.
Undisciplined. He gets a little on edge. He starts letting things slide. He gets out of position. There's goalies out there that really don't allow that. If you look at Boston, if they actually had a blue line, I don't think Rask would have had a problem with blocking a lot of those goals. I mean, I sit and watched a lot of Boston games where Boston actually scored on themselves, and I just think it's just undisciplined. And I think that when you see this game against New York and Pittsburgh, it's going to be a disciplined game up until you can get more shots on Anthony than 25. I think you're going to really starting to see him start getting undisciplined. If you can start getting Crosby whining, you start getting in his head. He's really easy to get into his head. I don't see the problem, especially when they come back to New York. I think that's when it's really going to start turning around. So yeah, I'm good with the pick with New York and 6.
All right. Well, so that's our second series we disagreed on. We disagreed on Anaheim and Nashville in the West, and the Rangers.
We had to.
Yeah, it's true. And then,
but I like the Rangers.
Well, Patrick, all right. Let's pick out who we think will play in the Stanley Cup, and we have winning. So we know what we picked at the beginning. We understand that. We had caveats to both. So who do you think will meet each other in the World Series? I'm thinking baseball here. In the Stanley Cup final. Who do you have?
Well, out of the East, I'm probably gonna go with Washington. That's just a solid team. I mean, I know that I know we talked about this. The talent pool is a lot less, but I mean, dude, when you score 120 points in a freaking season, how do you not go with them? You know what I mean? So I'm going with Washington out of the East, and I want to go with Nashville. I do. I got a soft spot for them. But I think I'm not going to go with Nashville. I'm going to take a risk. I'm going to take a risk with this. I'm going to go with Chicago.
That's not a risk.
Probably not. I'm playing it safe. Washington versus Chicago. Chicago in 7.
All right. Yeah. I mean, it's funny. Yeah. I think I have the same thing. I don't know who's going to beat Washington. I felt like the team to beat Washington would have been Tampa Bay if Tampa Bay had all their people. But yeah, again, losing Steven Stamkos is just too big of a loss. Too big of a loss. So yeah, I do think this is the year Washington breaks through, and I think they will beat. Man, I don't know who they're gonna beat in the Eastern Conference Final. I would say, because who's the other teams he had advancing? Yeah, Pittsburgh. Okay, you have the Rangers, along with the Islanders, and I'm drawing a blank. Who is the other one? Oh, and Detroit. All right.
Probably Detroit. No.
I personally think the Rangers and Penguins winner will be in the conference final against Washington, just depending on how those other matchups go. Because with the playoffs, just depending on who wins, they reseed everybody.
Yeah.
In hockey, so it's weird how they do it, but
I like it.
Right. And so, but yeah, I have Washington, and in the West, yes, hard to go against Chicago. I had to see somebody beat them in the clutch again. I personally think they will beat Dallas in the final if it comes down there. I think Dallas is going to make a good run here, and they'll get to that final spot, and then it's going to turn into that grind. Can they outgrind Chicago? Ultimately, I don't feel like they can because, well, Dallas is young, relatively young in the sense of the players haven't really been the core group. Hasn't been in those moments, that Western Conference Finals moment. Now they have a couple. I mean, obviously they have Patrick Sharp, who came from the Blackhawks, and Johnny Oduya. But yeah, man, Chicago still has that core. Hard to go against them. So once we go ahead and post this, and be a lot of Dallas Stars fans coming after me. It's okay though. It's cool.
Yeah,
I can deal with it.
Where you're at.
Yeah, and I know. I can't wait.
I can't wait either. Let me know. Keep me posted.
Yes, of course. Well, Patrick, who's your Stanley Cup winner?
Chicago. Already called that one. Chicago. I said Chicago in 7.
Chicago beats Washington in 7.
Yeah.
Yep. It is crazy. Patrick, so in baseball and in hockey, we both picked teams from Chicago.
Yeah. Yep. Chicago's gonna be very happy this year.
Yes, if it's the way we call it, yes, there will be a lot of victory parades in Chicago. They will not. It will be an all-year party.
Yeah,
in Chicago.
You know how I always said I want to go to Chicago. This will be the year I need to go. It'd be nice.
Well, all right. Well, we'll go ahead. We'll put a check mark for that. Put a check mark for the Stanley Cup matchup and who we have winning.
You want to go ahead and call the Bulls as a playoff champion next year?
Hell no.
No. Okay.
No.
So they're not partying all year.
We have another show for the Bulls.
Broken up.
Yeah, what a hot mess they are. But well, this will conclude. What before we concluded, Patrick? Do you have anything else to add for the hockey?
No, man, I got everything that I wanted to say out. Oh, I will say this. All you breath of fresh air fans out there, you notice how calm and cool I was today, right? I'm very calm. I hadn't touched anybody out or anything like that. I'm just letting you know I'm pissed off because my website ain't working. Just letting you know.
Yes. You should also let them know that I was able to talk to you, get you in your best behavior.
But come Thursday, I'll be amped back up.
All right.
I'll be amped back up because I'll have my website working by then. Damn GoDaddy. I freaking hate that place sometimes, dude. Now I'm getting started. You better end the show before I get caught up.
All right. Yes. On that note, this concludes our NHL playoff preview on the Breath of Fresh Air webcast. So watched it, like it, and check it out. And share your feedback on it too. We would like to see if the picks you guys have, especially for you hockey fans out there, if the picks we have go with yours, go against yours. Either way, let us know what you think. Call us a moron. Call us morons if you want to. We're just going to call you morons back. But go ahead and call us. Because, hey, man, look, hey, you want to call us names, it's cool. We can name call. It's all right. But it's all in good fun. Yeah. I mean, let us know what you think. Let us know who you have winning the Stanley Cup. I can already tell you, Patrick, not a lot of people are going to like the Blackhawks win it again because people are just tired of the Blackhawks. Well, got to beat them. Got to beat them. Yep. And so it'll be interesting to see what everybody has to say once we post this. So, again, as for the rest of the website, here's what we have coming up. In the next couple of days, we will do a preview for the NBA playoffs. And then we will talk about a couple other things that's going on. The NFL draft is coming up, and we will have a special break them up show. We'll get more into that as we talk about it. But
back on my rants.
Yeah.
Oh, and we should have a special guest next Thursday.
Yeah, this Thursday.
All right, this Thursday.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Thursday.
Yes. Yep. Our boy Stan will be returning to kick it with us and talk to us about who he thinks will win these first round series in the NBA and ultimately who will win the championship. So, with that said, this will conclude the webcast. Patrick, you anything else to add before you leave?
You covered it all, man.
All right. Well, that will conclude this webcast, and we will talk to you later on in the week. Take care.